It's been a few hours now since Sony has announced their new A7sIII, and I've watched 3 or 4 videos. So now, if you ask me my opinion, what I think of that camera, I think it's a new game changer. When you compare it to what Canon just released in the overheating R5 and R6, well, really it's the R5 you need to compare it to. Sure, the R5 has that 45 megapixel sensor. The Sony has a 12 megapixel. Canon does the great 8K RAW video, whatever you're going to use that for. But in all realistic terms, when it comes to a commercial photographer who shoots a little bit of video on the side whenever clients ask him to, I think to have that Sony in your bag would be a massive benefit, much more than the Canon would be. Now, I shoot Sony. I used to shoot Canon. I switched over 2 years ago because I was tired of the Canon autofocus, missing everything. Quite happy with the Sony. When it comes down to it, the fact that you can shoot 240 frames a second in HD, I mean, that's amazing. You can shoot 4K, 120 frames a second. You have the ability to shoot RAW to an external recorder. It's just really hard to fathom, you know, why go anywhere else? That's my opinion. I did a quick price check between B&H and WEX, so the UK and the United States. And when you're looking at the pricing in pounds, about 300 to 400 more pounds to buy it over in the UK than the United States. That's not bad. I mean, you're paying for local service and everything. Ultimately it comes down to which camera you prefer in your hands. I really like the ergonomics of the Sony. It took me a little while to get used to it. I like the color better than the Canon. I just think as a 10-bit, you know, 422 10-bit video camera, the 12 megapixel I can deal with. I mean, geez, you think back 10 years ago, you were shooting, you know, 8 and 12 megapixel Canons. We were shooting that for billboards. We were shooting that for print ads. I still have print ads that are 12 megapixel that are still up today, that are still being used. There's nothing wrong with that. Sure, if I was doing trade show booth style printing, you know, yeah, I want 40 megapixels or 50 megapixels. There's nothing, don't listen to everybody. I mean, you know, you'll hear it right now that 12 megapixels is not enough for stills. Well, for commercial stills, for most things, yeah, it is enough. If you want to do fine art stuff, yeah, you'll need something bigger. Go get yourself an A7R3. Or if you really want to go big, get the R4. In my opinion, I think the Sony has knocked it out of the park. And I think Canon has just been deflated. There's no wind left in that R5 sails. But it's just my opinion, and it's worth every penny you paid for it.